Good morning, everyone. Happy first day of spring. My theme for the service today for my talk is the equinox, equal light and dark. So here we all are. I had an interesting experience when I got here this morning. There was a gardener out back trimming all of the bushes in the form of a doe. This beautiful deer was standing out back, and of course, as soon as I pulled in, it looked like a statue. I mean, I was like, who put that statue of a deer out back? Of course, she was just standing still. But anyway, we were visited by beautiful deer, a sign of life and of spring and of maybe rebirth. So, well, we start out as always with the lighting of our Christ candle. This morning, I'm here on my own, so I will be doing various parts of the service. Today is supposed to be an auspicious day, actually, in terms of astrology, that there is a new light, a more powerful light shining on the planet. And so we have some beautiful lights behind us. We have that portal of light above my head, my halo. See, my halo. And so let's call in the light this morning. In the beginning was the one presence of the undivided and unmanifest, pure spirit of life, light and love. In its generosity, it shared itself, its consciousness, and its love in the visible form of creation. And so we acknowledge this presence within us and as us, creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine, expressing in all our giftedness and creativity. We acknowledge this presence in our companion Mother Earth and in all the sentient beings. This universal presence in everything we call the Christ. And so we light our candle today, as always, as a visible reminder just place it there, of that Christ presence, expressing in, as, and through us. In this now moment, in a unique way, an unrepeatable moment. This is the truth. Let us own it. All right, and so we start out now with an opening song to put us in the mood, so to speak. And this song is The Strength of Love by Marcy Baruch.
Pretend like you don't know what words are coming next. You never step in the same river twice. Here we go. Hi, Rita. Hi, everybody.
Yes, indeed. It is through the strength of love that we gather here this morning, isn't it? And we always need to renew that love. So that's why we're gathering as a spiritual community to strengthen each other. So this past week has been the anniversary of the initial lockdown. And I don't know if it was because of that, but it certainly put me in a very reflective mode all week. And for many people, today is New Year's Day, particularly in the Middle East, in Persia, for instance. It's called Nowruz, and it is New Year's Day on the astrological calendar also. And so I was writing some things down earlier in the week for a group, an intention group. We're trying to formulate a class or a program or whatever. And so I started writing something, and I'm going to share it this morning as my invocation. And it says, grounded in love, in the love that we are, and inspired by the inherent wisdom available to us, Unity in the Gold Country supports personal and planetary transformation through the realization of our true self, namely love. So there's like two parts to it. Each one of us is going through our personal transformation as love, and then also as a community, all of us together as we work at transforming ourselves, we transform as a community of love. One with Source, we visualize our Creator's vision for a world that works for all. And that's very important because it isn't our vision, it's Source's vision that we make our own. We become aware of it. Uniting in our hearts with that creative energy then and that vision, we see clearly what is required and we move into action only when we feel prompted to do so. We use our intention and imagination to hold the space for the new world to unfold and for the new humanity that is showing up on the planet. We use connection, compassion, and understanding to become unified with others and to embody the energy of Source love in ourselves, firstly, extending it out then to others, to the whole world, and to the planet itself. And so we see ourselves reflected in every part of creation, and especially in every living soul. We bow profoundly before the gift of life, regardless of race, ethnicity, skin color, or creed. We do not allow those masks to fool us into even a smidgen of separation or judgmental thinking. We know and see the other as the self that resides in one and all. So let's take a moment to gaze in unconditional loving regard for life. I'm remembering that beautiful deer that I saw out back. Maybe you can look out into your garden and see daffodils. I have some in my garden right here. And perhaps you're seeing some of your fellow congregants. So let's take a moment to gaze in love with unconditional loving regard. And let us make a bow in our heart space reverently to all forms and to bless them by extending love to them from our hearts. And this is how we bless the world and shine our light. And this is the template for all that we do in each moment. Thank you. So we continue in a prayerful mode as we pray this morning for all those on our prayer list, and we have quite a lot of people that we've been praying for. Continue to pray for Joan Oliver, who is on hospice for several weeks now. We pray for Barbara McCarthy. We pray for Dennis's brother, Robin Casella, who passed away last Sunday. And I'd like to also pray for his mom, Jean, who I think has been very affected by the loss of her son at 93 years of age. We pray for Rachel Fontana, for Bill Johnson, Will McBride, Vicki Foster, for Tess, Dale, and Judy Harder, for Clementine, who's recovering from surgery, for Tim Bentley, Barbara O'Connor, Darius and Dimitri Harris. We pray also for Magdalena Jekyll, who I just spoke with before the service began. She broke her lower leg, but she is in recovery at Golden Empire, and if you would like to visit her, you can call there and make an appointment to go visit her, which she would love. And again, unfortunately, we pray this morning for all the victims of hate, especially in the Asian American communities, and for the recent victims in Atlanta. We pause so that you can add in your own prayers as well this morning. We acknowledge that there is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. Okay. So before we get to that, we do have our daily word for today. And it says, forgiveness. I extend forgiveness to myself. Throughout my life, I have forgiven those who have hurt and disappointed me. In turn, I have been grateful when others extend understanding and forgiveness to me. Even though I have learned to be forgiving with others, I may still find it difficult to forgive myself for my mistakes, for my disappointments, for all of those that I've caused for other people, and maybe the commitments that I've broken. And so today I open my heart, and with love and compassion, I forgive myself. Perhaps you can just feel that now in your heart space, if that has spoken to you. Something maybe popped up. Just feel that loving compassion in your heart. And I remind myself that everyone makes mistakes and deserves understanding and forgiveness, even me. And as I often say, if I could do better, I would already have done better. I remember how the prodigal son's father received him with joy when he came home. And this joy is mine when I let go of self-condemnation and finally come home to myself. It's all about coming home to ourselves with and in love. So at this time, I'm going to invite us into our meditation. You may wish to close your eyes, certainly be comfortable and relaxed. We just place our attention, on the mind. We feel that energy of concentration and consciousness, awareness. And without making a big deal of it, we just let our thoughts slip away. We become quiet. From that quiet mind, we drop into a still heart. Feel your attention dropping into your chest, into the heart space. And just connect there with the energy of life itself, the energy of love. And know that there is always refuge. There's always stillness. There's always peace and support in this heart space. But there's always pure divinity, only divinity, in the space between our thoughts. And even when situations are intense or challenging, or we're dealing with what we call problems, and especially when our thoughts are chaotic, intense, the divine source resides right there, underneath those thoughts, and through whatever situation we're in. And the door to connect with that source is right between our thoughts. And even if you can't see that or feel it necessarily, just know this morning that you are always supported, that this divine support is quite literally less than a thought away, which means let your thoughts go and see what's underneath, see what's there in their place. And so I invite us for a moment to just breathe into the heart space. And allow that support to arise. Feel your body react, relax. Feel the mind become quieter. This is how divinity reveals itself within us, how we touch into and connect with it, by simply bringing our attention to the heart space. And again, just know that you are one with all that is. With everything that we see and experience, we are one with it through the heart space. We are connected with all the good that has ever existed, that exists right now, all life, all health, wholeness, prosperity. Everything that's good, holy, and true is right there in this space in our hearts. And we can access it by feeling into that space between our thoughts. And as we drop into that space, we can feel the quality that it has. It is love, love for us. It is loving us always. How wonderful. And so at this time, Kieran Drucker is going to lead us in a beautiful song, I Am a Light. And again, in that heart space, just know that you truly are a light. Along with being love, you are a light.
Shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. There are times when I forget that spirit lives inside of me. When I drop into that source of love in my heart, I am free, and I am a light. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. There's a truth that I know deep inside my soul. Every day's an opportunity to shine my light to everyone that I see, and I am a light. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. Shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. Shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. Am a light. Shine so bright, I'm gonna shine my light. I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I am a light. Shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. You are a light. You shine so bright, you illuminate the darkness. You are a light. You shine so bright, you illuminate the darkness. And we are a light. We shine so bright, we illuminate the darkness. We are a light. We shine so bright, we illuminate the darkness. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness.
Hmm, beautiful, Karen. So, as I said, my talk today is the equinox, equal light and dark. And here we are at a time when the daylight and the nighttime is equally balanced in our world, at least in the northern hemisphere. And it seems like a metaphor to me for our times. We are delicately balanced on a precipice where, as a society, we have a choice before us to move into more light or to take a step backward into more darkness. For those into astrology, as I've said, today is an auspicious day when it is said that a different and more highly charged light starts to stream into the planet, signifying a new era, a new age of enlightenment. May it be so. And I've been thinking a lot about that sense of being on a precipice for myself and for society in general. So I thought that perhaps you might be feeling something similar, and I've decided to dedicate my talk to it today. The big question for all of us, isn't it, is how to tilt more towards the light and out of darkness. You know, we can hear Karen sing that song so beautifully, and we can get caught up in the music and we feel it. But then when the song ends, the feeling kind of dissipates. So personally, I have felt a bit untethered in recent months and weeks. I think 2020 has cut me loose from my moorings, so to speak. And I feel like we've been asked to let go of the old way of being and thinking, what used to be our usual and normal. Our ego selves are frantically trying to get back to that shore, familiar shore, but it's gone out of sight. We have to move on. However, we don't know where it is we're going, and we don't know necessarily how to get there. We just know it requires something new from us all, and that there's a sense, perhaps, of floundering. It's like we're looking for the magic potion that will bring about the change that we all desire in ourselves and in the world. But did we ever really know what was coming or what was up ahead? Did we hold a paradigm in our minds that everything is progressing upward in a linear way without any one step forward and two steps back? We like to think so, up till this past year. But is it necessary to know ahead of time, or is it possible for the ego to stay present in the now and let whatever unfolds be met in that new now moment? As the song says, que sera, sera. What will be, and we'll deal with it in due course. Is it possible for us to journey forward without the sense of a separated self needing to know in advance? To me, it feels like the old theology or way of thinking isn't very efficient or clear or productive right now in taking us forward into the new energy of transformation. Over the years, we've talked about it using different terms like ascension, higher consciousness, the second coming, holiness, sainthood, even the end times, Armageddon. Frankly, all those still seem very elusive to me. It's all a bit airy-fairy and unclear as to how we get there. I've recently started to think about it in a more down-to-earth term of integration. And I'm guided by a line from The Way of Mastery, which says, you cannot transcend that which you haven't yet embraced. You cannot transcend what you haven't yet embraced. Which leads me to believe that whatever the Spirit manifests as must be embraced by us in order to transform, transcend, transmute our current condition. It definitely is a non-dual state of being, an embodiment in us, a flesh and blood experience, joining with an awareness of spirit at the same time as whatever else we're experiencing. So it joins both mind and heart in the body with an awareness of all three at the same time. Mentally, we know it all in theory. We can recite all of the wisdom. There's no separation. There's one great soul here. We are that one. All is well. And we can keep repeating those ad infinitum. But it doesn't seem to get us or progress us further. What we need is a felt experience of that oneness, not just an idea in our heads. And focusing the mind's will and power alone on that idea doesn't seem to achieve it. And sometimes it just feels like wishful thinking. For some time now, many organizations have talked about building a world that works for all as their mission statement, including Unity Worldwide Ministry. That's the in-catch mission statement, so to speak, for now. But how do we know what the all needs? What does the world that works for all look like? I would suggest that in order to answer those two questions, we need to move out of our own heads and into the universal experience of all people. Is there a common humanity that we can all share with the same values and desired outcomes? Seems to me there is, but that requires ever expanding circles of connection and inclusivity, something that is clearly not desired by a significant portion of the population, which of course is evident by what we see happening in our world on the TV news. There's so much splintering going on, and each group is setting itself up in opposition to the other deliberately. There doesn't seem to be much attraction for the all part of the mission. So recently here at Unity in the Gold Country, I've had conversations about these very things. We're talking about setting up an intention group. And so I brought some of these ideas into the conversation. I've also talked about these in the Way of Mastery on Monday evenings, and especially in the Spiritual Exploration group on Tuesday mornings. We've been exploring through David Kyle's book, the practice that can really make this change for us. And it seems that others are feeling what I'm feeling around these topics. Since the winter solstice, I've been feeling a strong desire to connect to my own heart, in my own heart, with the current emotions that are arising, including any that come up from the past. Some would call it the unprocessed pain of the world. And maybe we have become more sensitive to that. Those of us who are empaths have been feeling that, particularly this past year, and maybe especially now on the anniversary. Or it may be just our own ancestral pain or our own psychic pain from our lives or past lives. It's certainly uncomfortable and painful, isn't it? Not what we necessarily, want or think when we think about spirituality. Light, love, and peace are much more appealing. And yet it's no surprise after the year we've all been through that we're dealing perhaps with some turmoil. Someone sent me a text this week outlining the losses that they've seen in my life over the past year. And I have to say I was shocked. I never really sat down and thought about all of the changes. My brother dying, my good friend committing suicide, loss of our dog, moving home. All of it really stopped me for a moment. How we can, in a sense, not be in touch with what's going on with ourselves. And in our current now experience, what I am looking for is something that cuts through the theory and gives me and you a real grounded practice that connects us to the light and to the love in an experiential way, not just in our heads. The Way of Mastery talks about the mindless thoughts that keep us preoccupied in a spin-dry loop. Thoughts that keep us away from our emotions, actually, and somehow convince us that by doing that, we're processing when we're not. Just ask yourself, simple question, are your thoughts constructive or divisive? In that they either bring you closer to the divine self that you are, or do they lead you away from a warm connection with yourself and with others? You know, the Daily Word talked about how lack of forgiveness for ourselves can block that connection. And so that sense of whether we're feeling more connected or less connected to others, to ourselves and others, is perhaps the litmus test for our spirituality. So let's take stock for a second and answer another simple question. What am I seeing in the world right now? Or what am I thinking about the world recently? Now answer the question honestly, not ideally. You know, if you're really honest, are you having kind of a really negative vibe about the whole world and where it's going? When we remember that we don't see the world as it is, rather we see it as we are, we come to realize that the so-called world is a reflection of the state of our minds. The world is simply a mirror for what we're thinking and feeling. And if the world looks like a scary place, then that tells me that my mind is full of fear. I have a lot of fear going on underneath my thoughts, and my thoughts are just alerting me to that. If I'm seeing division all around me, then my mind and my thoughts have to be at war with themselves. It's time to unplug the source of the war, isn't it? Isn't it time to turn the attention of our mind back on itself and reveal its useless game plan to keep us distracted from what is real, what is true, and from what's transformative? And yet our temptation is to keep looking out there and to keep worrying about that and somehow trying to change that. As the meditation showed us earlier, there is so much presence, depth, divinity, awareness in the space between our thoughts. So much of what we are really looking for is in the space between our thoughts. Are we willing to silence the mind to discover the inner space, peace, and love that resides there? Because divine support is in between our thoughts, is less than a thought away, meaning subtract that last thought that you had, or the many thoughts that you've had, and you can experience what lies underneath, supporting you. You just need to open your heart and to feel that inherent connection with the bigger energy. Now, will that take away all our suffering and solve all our problems? Well, probably not in this moment, but it will give us a counterpoint and an alternative reality to the disturbing world that we are all imagining going on out there. You may or may not be familiar with archery or the sport of darts, but it has a target, and at the center of the circular target is a bullseye. Imagine for a moment that bullseye is the divine presence at the core of our being, and that it's our true identity. It's what we call the I am presence. And it's really who I am. It's my true self. And it's also your true self, and that we share this true self together. It is who we are in union with each other. There is no separate existence apart from that. If we think there is, that's just all down to our imagination and our mind. We've been told that the divine, in its essential self, is love. God is love. So all that really exists at the bull's eye is the energy of love. extending itself out from the bullseye into the bigger circles around it. And the first circle outside the bullseye is our individual's body. If we want to experience this love, we must connect or open up to that flow of love. We must let it into our physical bodies through our heart space, into every cell of our being. And there we allow our emotions and thoughts to intermingle with this energy of love. We let the love have its way with us, dissolving and aligning our field of energy. And so we come into harmony then with the source of that energy of love. We stop resisting it by not holding onto oppositional thoughts or adversarial thoughts and emotions, particularly around others. Our discordant thoughts are just giving voice to our disturbing feelings that are wanting to be released. And that's how we experience oneness with Source, when we let all of that go. And then the next circle on the target outside that one is a band of other people. And again, we must allow the energy of love to flow through the bullseye center of our being to that circle. We intend that it flow through our minds and bodies out to everyone else. We have to have positive thoughts towards others. We have to have positive emotion towards others if we're going to experience the allness of the oneness. And that's how we enter into union with others. And then the bigger circle outside that again is the planet and Mother Earth. And beyond that is the solar system, and beyond that is the universe. To the extent that we are able to open ourselves to connect to all these levels and circles, we will be able to experience oneness. To the extent that we can let go of our human thinking, will we be open to connection without any sense of separation or division. When we do that, we realize that we are the whole target, from the bullseye in the center to the outer ring. You can feel that, can't you? What that's like. Now contrast that with our experience of the past year, of our mind's strong positions for and against belief in the existence of the virus even. Contrast that with our strong thoughts for and against wearing masks. You can feel the difference in energy. Contrast that sense of being one with the whole target, as opposed to the strong arguments for and against vaccines in our minds, or contrasted with our strong positions for and against reopening. Contrast that with our decision to cut certain people out of our circle. Is our willingness to extend love stronger than holding any and all thoughts, judgments, and positions regarding anyone and anything? No? Then we won't experience unity this side of the grave, will we? Unity requires a letting go of all thoughts, perceptions, feelings, until we can see and know that only love exists. And it exists and is real in everyone and everything. And that is the truest thing about them. And our purpose and mission in this life is to extend and express that love in every way that we can imagine, in every moment, to one and all. And so apologies to all egos that won't be getting their own way on these contentious matters, and who won't be too happy with the conclusion of my talk. But ultimately, that is the good news for today. It is just the question of what I value more: contention, being right, being divisive with other people, having my mind all upset, feeling superior, or wanting to be connected to all in love. And that's the choice that we all have to make each day. All right. Oh, there's the bullseye. And that's all of it, divinity. And so our power words for March are, I invite you to say them with me. I can handle any circumstance by tapping into the wisdom within me and all around me. Again, speaks to the wisdom that is inherent in all creation. And again, of course, we always have our prosperity affirmation, which is just, again, the recognition of the oneness that we are, and of the energy that we are, the life that we are, the love that we are, that expresses in ways that are good, holy, and true. And again, thank you all for your generosity each week in supporting us during the closure. And so our love offering is very simple today. It says, I give in love because I love to give. Let's just feel the energy of that. A reminder that when we do give, make sure that we have the energy of love behind our giving, and that we love to give. So here's a very beautiful song. It's called Yahweh by David Alt, but that's just the title. It's all about life, and it's all about light, and it's all about love.
I am the life, you are the life, we are the life. Oh, Yahweh. I am the life, you are the life, we are the life. Oh, Yahweh. I am the life, you are the life, we are the life. Oh, Yahweh. I am the life, you are the life, we are the life. Oh, Yahweh. And we let this life be all it can be. Let the whole world see possibility. Trust and let it lead every single day. Every move we make, hand in hand we play. With spirit, I am the light, you are the light, we are the light. Oh, Yahweh. I am the light, you are the light, we are the light. Oh, Yahweh. I am the light, you are the light, we are the light. Oh, Yahweh. I am the light, you are the light, we are the light. Oh, Yahweh. And we let this light be all it can be. Let the whole world see possibility. Trust and let it lead every single day. Every move we make, hand in hand we play. With spirit, I am the love, you are the love, we are the love. Oh, Yahweh. I am the love, you are the love, we are the love. Oh, Yahweh. I am the love, you are the love, we are the love. Oh, Yahweh. I am the love, you are the love, we are the love. Oh, Yahweh. the life, you are the life, we are the light. I am the light, you are the light, we are the light. I am the love, you are the love, we are the love. I am the life, you are the life, we are the light. I am the light, you are the light, we are the light. I am the love, you are the love, we are the love.
Hopefully that'll be an earworm for the rest of the day. Again, during this year, we see it as a year of renewal, of transformation, awakening, healing, and wonder. And on this beautiful morning, I hope that you have plans to maybe get out today, be in the sun, and see some of those beautiful flowers, and just be in that healing energy of nature and of some wonder. Again, a reminder that, you know, if you're feeling that your spiritual practice just needs to be upgraded or elevated or changed or something, if it's not really working, please join us in the Spiritual Exploration Group on Tuesday mornings. We have some very heartfelt sharing and discussion, so hope to see you there. Our social group will continue to meet on Thursdays at 10 a.m. All are welcome. Again, of course, we have our Qigong and Tai Chi classes on Wednesdays at 8:30 for anybody looking for some exercise. A reminder about our dream group with Nancy Chandere on the first and third Thursdays. And saw this minister because Badass Miracle Worker is not an official job title. I thought, that's cute. Also, I just want to mention that we do have our board meeting this Tuesday. And on the agenda is the topic again of reopening. It seems that every time that this comes up, the statistics go wild again and we get shut down or we don't open up. But we will be discussing it again as a board, and we will let you know if there's going to be a change. As I said, if we do open up, it will be a hybrid service, meaning that it will be live with people in the sanctuary, but it will also be live streamed. For those who want to stay on Zoom, that's our intention. It's just a question of how to do this and to do it well with technology. So we are working on that also. That's the update. All right, well, I just want to express my gratitude to all of you for being here over this past year, for supporting me, and for having a spiritual home. I really do appreciate you all, and I know you appreciate each other. So here's our closing song.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of morning sun. I choose love. Yes, I do. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
And so we close with our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am, and all is well.